So Meg 2, to be honest, not a very good movie. It just starts happening. It doesn't seem like there's much of a setup. It almost feels like the first movie was kind of a setup for this one, but not really. I don't really remember much of the first movie to know how much of it transpires into this one as far as returning characters. I know Jason Statham is a returning character, but I'm not sure about any of the other characters in the movie. But it just kind of starts happening, and there's like a storyline that just kind of evolves in the second act. It's all about some bad people wanting to make billions off of some substance down in this trench, and they will stop at nothing to get what they want. There's some interesting villain turns. There's it's quite interesting knowing that the villains know that there's the dangers of the trench itself, or there's the dangers of the sharks, or this octopus thing that comes from out of nowhere, and these like iguanas on land that come from out of nowhere seemingly. But the movie doesn't try to explain too much about what's going on as far as how these other creatures are living, and it kind of doesn't try to be any better than what it is. It feels like a semi-low budget because there's a lot of CGI that's not the greatest, but it's okay in this movie. It's not like The Flash where the CGI was a detriment. The okay CGI in this is just perfectly fine. What really works though is the characters, not so much how they're written, but just how they're acted and the actors they have in the roles. They have a fun time, and the movie kind of flies by with its 2 hours, and you sort of have a fun time. It definitely could have been a much better movie than what it was. It could have embraced more of a R-rated nature about it and done more gory things, but it secures that PG-13 by just being more lighthearted. There's some comedic moments here and there, and there's a character that seemingly always survives situations when they typically shouldn't. It's just an okay movie. I think it's much like the first one, to where I didn't hate watching it, or I didn't have a bad time watching it, but I didn't necessarily have a great time watching it either. And would I watch it again? Probably not. But if it was on and other people were watching it, I would not have a problem seeing it again. But it's really hard to recommend unless there's nothing else playing at the movie theaters that you want to see, and you kind of want to see something that's not going to offend you with being bad. It's just not going to be rewarding being so good. It plays the line of, it could have been R-rated, it could have been gorier, it could have been more fun, it could have been a lot of things, but it also could have been a lot of things that are negatives as well. But a slight, barely recommendation of seeing it is going to be fine. But well, that's it for this week as far as anything worthwhile seemingly to watch. And I don't know, let me know in the comments below if you've seen it, what you think about these Meg movies. Why aren't they better? I'm glad they're worse, but why aren't they better? Anyway, have a good evening.